In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Watto, everyone's favorite Toydarian junk dealer. Now, I think he is from the 30th anniversary line. I had to do a little bit of research prior to making this video, and there has been a few Wattos released ever since the Phantom Menace line, and it did take me a little bit of time to pinpoint this one, but I think just seeing the samples of Watto out there, I think this is from one of the Droid Factory 2-packs. From the time, and the other figure that accompanies him usually is an R2 unit. It's labeled as R2TO, but apparently that's inaccurate. Is that it actually should be a R2G2, I think is the appropriate name for the droid. But this Watto I picked up loose on eBay. I won him in an auction. I didn't pay very much for him at all, a couple dollars I think. But I always wanted a Watto in my collection. I distinctively recall back in 2008 or 2009, looking through a Brian's Toys catalog at the time, and taking notice of Watto, and thinking, I really want a Watto for my collection. But I ended up getting this Watto back in 2019 or 20, so it took me almost 12 years to finally acquire one. And as I mentioned, we do have quite a few Watto action figures out there. We have the original from the Phantom Menace line, and I think there was a few in various packs throughout the years. Then we have this one, and then there's also an Attack of Clones one as well. And I always like the Toydarians in general, and all the various characters. In fact, I would not mind Hasbro doing like a troop builder set of just 4 generic Toydarians. I think that'd be a neat idea. So sculpting work on this Watto is really good. I think of all the Watto action figures you can get, this is probably the best one. Most of the sculpts are pretty similar, but this one also has the advantage of better paint apps, I think. Head sculpt looks good. You can see his teeth here, which quite frankly are more like tusks. He does have the broken tooth right there. It's a long snout. His expression is pretty neutral, I guess. Pretty fitting for Watto. You have his shirt here, and then all the various pouches. He has the big gut as well. You have his wings, which are removable. Then you have this welding device here, which I've never really used. I think you can unplug it here as well. I have to admit, I've never really done that. But yeah, right there. Hold it like that. Then you got his feet. Can't accommodate a stand, but he really doesn't need it. Has a great footprint. Unfortunately, one accessory he's missing that he really should have is a flight stand. I think the Attack of Clones one has a stand, and that might be the only one, but of course Watto flies around. Be nice to have that, but in this case, all you can do is just really have him stand, or you can make a custom stand. Articulation's a little more limited. I think he's basically 5 POA. So the swivel at the neck there, and the swivel shoulders. Don't think anything at the waist there. A little bit of a swivel at the, I guess, what would be his hips. This welding device doesn't stay in too well. But that's pretty much it. The wings, of course, can move. Kind of simulate different flying maneuvers and things like that. But they can pop out as well. Not really necessary, but That is an option. Of course, the welder plugs in there on his back, and then on the side of his belt there. And the wings fit in securely. Trying to think, I don't think these are backwards at all. Yeah. Then for other accessories, just a closer look at the welder here. Nice accessory to have. And then you have this data pad here. Wish more action figures got things like this. And for the most part, he holds it pretty securely in his hand. At least for my sample, his right hand here is a little better. But I think that's all I can really tell you about Watto here. Looks great alongside Anakin from the Vintage Collection. It's the only Jake Lloyd Anakin Skywalker I have for 3 3/4 inch. Wouldn't mind getting a few of the Phantom Menace ones at some point. Of course, I have the Black Series one as well. And then the only Shmi Skywalker that we have to this day. Wouldn't mind seeing her in the Vintage Collection too, but I'm sure that's has a very small chance of being made, but you never know. Hasbro has some surprises. She would have been perfect for the Return to Tatooine theme, but of course that was more a New Hope specific, but it would have been nice to throw in some Phantom Menace as well. But for Watto, definitely would recommend him for your collection, especially if you're a big fan of aliens, Toydarians. He's a great world building character, I think, especially with his accessories like the data pad, the welding device. You could definitely make a lot of great scenes with that. If I end up getting the Streets of Mos Eisley set at some point, I would like to get a few of those. But I think he'd be a great character to add to a display like that. Perhaps I'll add him to the Cantina here soon as well, along with all the other characters here. But I like Watto's character. I like Toydarians. It's nice to get an action figure of him. He deserves a TBC action figure as well. But we'll see what the future brings. And I wouldn't mind getting the Attack of Clones figure of him at some point as well. Black Series, I think, would be a great contender for him as well. But great action figure overall. Happy to have him. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support, and check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.